Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're just going to have a couple of handsome fellas talking about what's going to be going on the weekend. All right, this is the Working Perspectives Podcast Weekend Pop-In. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by our special guest host today, the one and only Party Boy, Pete McCormick. All right, Party Boy Pete, how you feeling and ready to go?
I'm feeling pretty good, Bartholomew. Let's get started.
I like it. All right, let's get this shit going. Here we go. All right, Pete. So let's get to chatting about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So let's start. So last week we aired part one of the 4-part extravaganza, the Alex Lavelle Experience. Give me your thoughts on part one.
Matt, the lead into part one was that one. I did not see that coming.
Telling you, ice cream, brother. Ice cream. That's what this show is all about, pal. Ice cream. Yeah. There's more than one flavor of ice cream.
Look at a tasty cake again. That's all I'll say. If anyone hasn't listened to it, I will never look at a tasty cake again in my life.
I'll tell you, I haven't had one since that day. Honest to goodness. But I haven't had a butterscotch cream, but I'm sure I've had a tasty cake. Yeah. But no, yeah. The story, it is for those who haven't heard it, it is an emotional story, but it's a very good one, and I think it's one that everyone should hear, especially parents who are struggling and doing all that. I think it's just it's a good family story of, why you need your brothers and sisters and why they're important. But yeah.
Did Alex know that was the lead-in, or did you he just pop that on him?
He had no fucking clue. So that was his authentic reaction. Yeah. How awesome is that? I wanted better. Yeah, because I wanted to surprise him. And I wanted him to know, because it's really an homage to him. It's a thank you letter to him, So I wanted him, because I'm not, me and him have had our differences in the past and stuff, but I want him to know, I'm always there for him and everything like that, and that I do appreciate him and everything. So, and this is something and it's something you don't talk about. Like, as men, right? You don't talk about this kind of stuff. You don't talk about being vulnerable and things. So, this kind of thing, is like a thank you letter to him. And then, I did want his genuine reaction. I really did. And he was like, we had to cut some of it out because, it is what it is, but he was plumb surprised. I'll tell you that, buddy. But I haven't even, so the way we did it is he was Alex. We recorded him in back-to-back weeks, right? Then we took his two recordings and we cut them in half and we made 4 episodes out of it, right? And when you add because we're trying the new thing, and we really want the guests we really want the listeners to let us know if they like the shorter episodes better than the longer ones, because we can throw out a 3-hour fucking banger on you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Or Joe Rogan on it. You can get the whole Joe Rogan experience.
Exactly. That's the thing too. I think we should mature. What I think Shake is thinking, and I somewhat agree, is that maybe we should mature into the 3-hour, right? Because 3 hours, I mean, we get we can do 2 hours and stuff. That's usually we get to between an hour and 15, 2 hours, plus all the clips Shake puts in there, and then our segments, 90 seconds of 90 Day Fiance, which is a massive hit. But all of that stuff, we get that in there, and once that's in there, it's we're looking at an hour and a half on a short hour-long episode. So, but we want the fans to know what they would like better. And as an avid listener and fan of the show, Pete, what would you prefer? Do you like the hour and 20, hour and 10-minute episodes, or do you like a 3-hour marathon?
I think it kind of depends on what's going on. I tend to listen to it as I'm walking my dogs. Yeah. I have a beagle that needs long walks, so it's half hour in the morning, half hour at night, so it's half hour increments. So, but I guess at the same time it depends. Some people hey, I want to listen to it all for at work. I like to have that 3-hour plug. But for me, I'm kind of ambivalent. I'm looking forward to the next Alex podcast. I will say that I was upset when I realized that there was only the 1 hour, and I was like, wait a minute, I have to wait a whole week for this? This is
That's
bullshit.
the other thing. That's the other thing in my mind. It's like, does that deter people? Or because like back in the day, before there was streaming and you could stream the whole season, that didn't deter people because they knew like, all right, we'll see you next week, right? And they're kind of like, they're ready for it. And by the time next week comes, they're amped. But for this day and age, people don't want to wait. They want it now. So I don't want to lose listeners by not having it all at once. But we'll let the algorithm tell us what they like, because we on the adverse of that, we could have left it as the full interview, and you could be saying, dude, I haven't even listened to the second half yet. So
I think it's always better to leave the audience wanting a little bit more than to give them too much. But it always depends on the guest, right?
But plus two, I'll tell you this: we got into some. Alex's recording was very, very good, and both episodes were very good. And there's a story. So the way we do it, we call it Block B. So when I tell like a story in the beginning, it's A block's the intro, and Block B is like when I'll do like the story time. Right. Like, remember when I did your stories of like your wrestling story and things like that? That's Block B. So Alex's Block B in his second recording is a hilarious story that just shows how much of a serial killer Alex actually is. So, but that one's going to be good too. So, okay. So,
I didn't even realize he joined the Army until like this year. So I had no idea.
Well, dude, he got, and we'll get into that. He joined the Army and was in boot camp and got hit in boot camp during COVID.
Oh, really?
So, like, dude, like he was kind of like let's say the last quarter of boot camp this time last year. And he was like, we had booked tickets, plane tickets and hotels to go down to his graduation and like all that stuff. Like we were all set to go. Everything was all lined up. And then he couldn't even have it. And we tried to do like a virtual thing, and it was tough to do that too. So it really sucked. Like I would have wanted to be there to see it because that is an accomplishment, and it is kind of nice. And I was proud of him for doing that. That's a tough thing to do, and I'm happy for him that he did it. But so he's in the military, like a bunch of things. And honestly, even after we're probably looking at like over like almost 5 hours of content with him, and we didn't even get everything. So, he'll be back on eventually too. But
did Alex work for Second City? He worked for something out in Chicago, right? One of those like comedic groups.
He did, yeah. Well, so I think I don't know. Like he worked like he was like affiliated with Second City at times, but I think for him is he was directing and running his own shows. So and you'll hear about that. Yeah, you'll hear about it in the episode. He was kind of like doing his own thing and running his own show and directing and everything like that. So yeah, it was pretty cool though. So yeah, but the other thing is it's 4 weeks of Alex. So by week 3, you might be sick of this son of a bitch, but I hope not, because I think we keep it going. I think there's enough content to keep it rolling where it's like pretty funny all the way through the end. I hope so, at least. That's the plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next week is part 2 of the Alex Lavelle experience, part 2 of 4. And we're gonna be knocking them dead and leaving you wanting more, hopefully, just like we always do.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready.
Nice. So okay. So we've talked. We've stroked our shows nice D long enough, and we're gonna move on. So we're at a part of the weekend pop-ins where we're gonna talk about something that we like to call a little recommendation. So Pete, you're a worldly man. You're a scholarly man. You're probably the best-looking guy in town. Everybody knows it. Everybody says it. You got great taste in. In stuff. And we want to know, what is your recommendation for something to do, maybe this weekend or something like that? Let me have it. What do you got?
All right, man. Well, you definitely weren't lying on any of those things you said. They were all true about me. My thing, what me and my wife actually got into when it was still cold out in January was hiking. the Wissahickon Park. And now it looks like it's going to be 70 degrees out. So I'm all about hiking those trails. Yeah, you know, go up and down Forbidden Drive, walk over the wooden bridge, maybe bring a flask or some road sodas with you.
There you go. Get a little nip in there, huh?
You know, nice. I actually found it looked like a little old, like Matt, I swear to God, I discovered where the Midnight Society has been meeting from Are You Afraid in the Dark back in the day. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, yeah. Baby.
I'll show you a picture eventually. When I'm looking, I'm like, this is where they met. So, you know, that's what I'm all about, getting outdoors and doing a little drinking.
Dude, I like that, man. And I'll tell you this. I think I know this about you. You don't feel the cold like a normal man, right?
I do not, no.
You handle it like you're wearing shorts out there in the snow. You know, it's not like you're able to do that because you're just, you know, I don't know. You're just special. But you don't feel the cold. Yeah.
So like I'm a big guy, man. I'm 6'3", 300 pounds. I heat up. When it was like we've had all these snowstorms, and my neighbor came out and, you know, I'm shoveling in my in a t-shirt and shorts, and he's like, "What are you doing over there?" I'm like, "Look, us big guys run hot. You know, maybe I'm cold now, but by the end of this, I'm gonna be dripping."
Yeah, dude. I'll tell you. You know who's so Kevin James. I remember he had like a funny shtick, right? Where his shtick was like, you know, he's saying he's like, big guys just sweat, man. We just sweat all the time. And he was like, you know, he's like, my buddies would come over and see me and they'd be like, dude, why are you so sweaty? You just like run a mile. He's like, well, no, I peeled an orange, you know, it's pretty good. But yeah, so you're not lying, pal. I'm a big guy myself and we definitely run hot, but I can't handle the cold like you can. You're a freaking polar bear, man. I don't know how you do it. But so I did like this though. I did like this. I like when we would have to cut weight and stuff like that and like running outside. I remember like, cause it's always in the, like, you know, it's a lot of times would be in the winter, but in the summer too. But it would be colder outside. So the cold air would feel so good on your lungs. When you're like breathing it in and you're like, you know, because you're all bundled up and stuff. Man, I used to like that. I thought that was awesome. Plus, dude, getting outside and doing it, you know.
Did you ever get the delayed sweat? Like, because, you know, we'd be running outside and it's so cold and I'd be, you know, in shorts and a t-shirt and I wouldn't sweat. But, you know, then you kind of walk back into the school. You take one step into the gymnasium at that 7 degrees and instant sweat. I'm just like covered. I'm like, oh, man, like, I avoided it. But nope, not today.
Nope. Not today, not any day, pal. You and Sweat have a lifelong relationship together.
You should have saw it when I did jujitsu. It was, oh man, it was bad. Oh, you were there when I did jujitsu earlier.
I was. Yeah, I remember those freaking Lake Winnipesaukis that you would leave all over the place, for sure. But yeah, I remember when we were wrestling, it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility for you to drop 10 pounds in practice, right?
Oh yeah. 10 pounds of practice, just all water weight, just pure. Then I would just have to drink 10 pounds of water, get it all back.
But that's crazy to think though. Like, yeah, you are a big guy, but the fact that like you could just knock 10 pounds off in 2 hours just by, and like you're not wearing plastics, you're not wearing anything like that. You're just wearing shorts and a t-shirt and wrestling shoes. And it just whoosh, like, you know, and like you just went hard and it's all gone. Like that, to me, that's incredible. That's the body at work, you know.
I remember going to one summer tournament because, like, normally, you know, heavyweights I didn't have to cut weight, but there was one summer tournament where I did come in and they had a weight class and I had to cut 13 pounds in an hour. And I can't remember if it was like Erie or what. Somebody they got annoyed because I was able to cut the 13 pounds in 1 hour and it wasn't very hard. I just put on the plastic bag and jumped the rope. Because with the plastic bag, I'm like, oh, I'll lose 50 pounds with this thing.
Oh my God, dude. I freaking wish. You know how many times like I was that? So like people don't realize when you're at a wrestling tournament, you're there with like, you know, especially if it's off season, you're not there with your team. You're there with like your buddies, you know, but like you're there also with your parents and your friends' parents. And we're all like traveling together and hanging out together. Right.
Yeah.
So like, I remember we went to this tournament in Lock Haven. Right. And it's supposed to be like a big off-season tournament. And it's like we're coming close to the season. So this is like a big tournament where everyone goes to like get prepared for the season. So it was like a big, like, you know, like you're not in season shape, like match shape, but you're getting there. Right. And I remember like Witt's there. And like, I remember this one really good kid from West Scranton. His name was Dave Morgan. He was like,
I remember.
Yeah. And like there's like, you know, nationally ranked wrestlers there and stuff, and you know, and we went there, and I remember that I had to cut weight, and I was the one that had to. Everyone was waiting on me to go eat after, like, because they're like weigh-ins, you know, because I had to stay there because weigh-ins are timed. So like if I got there early, exactly. So they're like, look, the weigh-ins, the scales close at 9. Like that's it, man, and we're not waiting. If you don't do it, we're not letting you in, right? So I'm there, and they're like, dude, scales close at 9. We got there at like 6. I was like 8 pounds over or something like that. And then like just had to work it off. And then everyone else had made weight. So they sat around for 3 hours waiting for me to make weight. And then we left, and I barely just made it. And my dad, I remember he was so fucking mad. Like, cause you know, and just like not even him, like Deary was there, and Mr. Deary, and then Witt was there, and Mr. Witt, like, you know, like all of them are there. So the adults are like, this fucking kid. And even my buddies are like, dude, you're such, like, fuck you, man. We're so hungry. Like, we all had to cut weight. It's not even the season yet, and we're still dealing with this bullshit. So yeah. Fuck you, 13 pounds in an hour, you son of a bitch. And I honestly, at that tournament, I don't think it was 8 pounds. I think it was like 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not losing 8 pounds, and well, maybe I could. It all depends. But okay, so you're recommending a nice hike. When you go hiking, though, like I remember, so where you're going is like the Forbidden Trail, Valley Green, right? Yeah. And for people that aren't in the Philadelphia area, this is like a park near Chestnut Hill College. Dude, it's gorgeous, man. Like you walk down a trail that's next to a river, and there's bridges and like the hills and forests.
It is the largest urban park system in the country. Like, I think the oldest and the largest. So like it's huge. Yeah, like it's great. Like you said, you get miles of trail right by a creek. There's a couple little waterfalls. You can see some deer.
Yeah. Have you been? And I know it's obviously you can't do it now because it's too cold. Well, you could probably do it, but there's this place called the Devil's Pond. Have you been to the Devil's Pond?
I know of it and I've seen it, but I also know that there's a lot of human feces in there from the amount of people that are always going in there and swimming. So I've avoided swimming there myself.
Yeah, the Devil's Pond is like it's like a rock jumping kind of place. That's one thing. I'll tell you what.
Well, apparently, New Yorkers are chartering buses and taking them down to Wissahickon Park in Philadelphia to get their outdoor fun. Now, for less money and they could go to the Poconos, but for whatever reason, they want to come down here and ruin our park system.
They do. And honestly, I'll tell you this. You know where they stop before they go to the park?
Where's that?
Graham's. And they get takeout beer. Oh, all the, like, dude, because I remember I would be bartending at Graham's and like daytime and Sunday days and things like that. And these people are stopping in. I'm like, dude, where, like, because they're all like, after the 10th time, some of me asking, where's like Bell's Mill Road in like a Puerto Rican, New York accent. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, what is going on? What are you doing? And they're like, no, we come down to go swim and play in the, you know, I'm like, what? You come all the way from 2 hours to go here? What is
swimming,
the deal?
Human feces.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Valley Green, and I used to love doing my road work back there and stuff. I love Valley Green. But, you know, like, I don't know, man.
It's like an urban oasis. Like you live in the city, and you don't even need a car. You can just take the bus over there or walk. But when you're chartering a bus to drive 2 hours to go to a park in another city, I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like,
out of your mind. I'll tell you what, though, this is something cool. So where Valley Green is, and it's in Chestnut Hill, right? Or it's between Chestnut Hill. It's in between Chestnut Hill and this place called Andorra. Andorra is like a small town next to Roxborough, right? So it's in between there. And people don't know this, but Chestnut Hill is home to the 7th largest Harry Potter festival in the world. Oh. So I don't know if it's still that way. But so the way Chestnut Hill College is built, it's like a castle looking thing, kind of like Hogwarts is, which is like the main castle in Harry Potter. So they used to have like a festival every like fall where they'd have like, you know, Quidditch, and they'd have like, you know, hay ride and like mazes, and all the shops would set up like they were the Harry Potter shop, you know what I mean? So It was a pretty cool thing. I don't know if they still do it, but they did it for a while.
They might have skipped it this year because of COVID, but I know it's a big thing. It's a moneymaker for the college, actually.
Yeah, dude, and Chestnut Hill, man. Chestnut Hill is an awesome area. Another thing.
Yeah, that is the richest neighborhood in the city by far. Nicest houses, nice brickstone houses.
Oh, dude, by far. All right, it's like, it's unreal. Like I remember, so one time, so I was doing my road work, so road work is slang for running in boxing. Right, and like most fight, and like MMA, it's the same thing. So I was doing my road work in Valley Green, and I'm running all over, and I'm just kind of doing my thing, and I get lost back there. And you lose service on your phone pretty quick back there. So I got lost. So I just had to like make my way through the woods, and I came out in this house, which was right near like the Chestnut Hill Cricket Club, which is like a golf course, like super hoity-toity rich club, and like went there. You know what I mean? And like, I was like, oh no, what the hell? And so I got like, and I had to walk through Chestnut Hill back to Valley Green to get to my car to go home. And it was like, dude, the houses you're walking by are unreal. It's still cobblestone streets and no one cares. Also, here's my recommendation for all of you listening. So for all of you that have a sweet tooth, Chestnut Hill is home to something called Bread and Beck's Bakery and Ice Cream Parlor. Bread and Beck's Bakery and Ice Cream Parlor.
All right, I'm listening. Right? I'm listening.
So, Bread and Beck's Bakery and Ice Cream Parlor in Chestnut Hill is home to the #1 strawberry shortcake in the state of Pennsylvania. Voted #1 strawberry shortcake in the state of Pennsylvania. And they have good pound cake, too. But I went there last week when I was picking up something in Roxborough. I was coming home. And I picked up a slice from my mother-in-law. Dude, this is the best strawberry shortcake you will ever have. It is unreal. So, if you want
strawberry shortcake is a little bit of a sore spot right here, strangely enough. So for Super Bowl Sunday, we had some people over, and one of my buddies, it'll be his wife soon. It was her birthday, and she loves strawberry shortcake. So we got the strawberry shortcake, but it was a big one, and there was only a couple of us. So only 2 slices are eaten. We get drunk and pass out, and we wake up, and our anxious beagle, Harvey's just going nuts. Apparently, he drug it off the counter and ate the entire, like this 40-pound beagle, an entire strawberry shortcake. It's 3 a.m. He's going nuts, just like destroying everything. Well, I didn't know this because I was passed out asleep, we'll say. And my wife had to take him to the emergency vet at like 3 a.m, and it cost us $400. So no strawberry shortcake in this house for a little bit.
Did he have to get his stomach pumped or something?
Apparently, as soon as he walked into the doctor's office, he just threw up. So we spent $500 for him to go in there, throw up, and then for them to say, oh, he threw up, he's good now.
Oh, I would be so pissed. I will tell you this, Pete, if you don't want to bring it home, they do sell it by the slice, and it's worth it.
All right. Yeah, maybe I'll eat it in the car.
Yeah, that's the move. And plus, dude, they got a bunch of other stuff in there that you don't even have to get that. But so that would be my recommendation is if you're gonna go to Valley Green after you have burn off some calories walking it out in Valley Green, go get those calories right back and get yourself the #1 strawberry shortcake in the state of Pennsylvania, and probably in a lot of states, because I'm pretty sure Pennsylvania's got some good bakers.
Oh yeah, we got those German bakers. We're known for our bakers.
Yeah, so Bread and Beck's, and they got a bunch of other stuff. I know when I was in there at St. Patrick's Day, so they had the Irish potatoes and things like that. Dude, when's the last time you had an Irish potato?
I'm not a big fan of Irish potatoes, to tell you the truth.
Oh, you don't like coconut, right?
I hate coconut. Oh,
yeah, that's what I now I remember. Well, you're a dummy sometimes.
Oh, so But Matt, I think this might be old news for some people. But do you know the app GoPuff?
No, what is it?
Oh, you don't know about GoPuff?
No, what's GoPuff?
GoPuff's pretty sweet. So GoPuff was a company that started by these Drexel guys. And originally it was just to deliver drug paraphernalia. So they would deliver you like blunts and stuff at night. But they've gone on and they're kind of like a convenience store now. So you just go on the app. and they'll deliver like it's almost like a 7-Eleven with a beer distributor license. So like you can just go out buy like a bag of Doritos, you can get some toilet paper, you can get yourself a 12-pack or a 30 rack. But they also started recently delivering 4th Street cookies. Now not 4th Street Lansdale, 4th Street Philadelphia, but 4th Street cookies from Reading Terminal Market. They deliver them and Federal Donuts. So if you want to get your munchies on and you're feeling lazy as shit, download that GoPuff app.
And so Federal Donuts is something I am interested in, and I've never had. Are they worth it?
So I'm the bad person.
4th Street cookies?
4th Street cookies I'm a huge fan of. So everyone loves Federal Donuts but me. I'm a Beeler's man. Like in the donut debate, but I'm not gonna ban Federal Donuts because they're
wait. So hold on. So there's Federal and what's the other one?
Beeler's is the one that's in Reading Terminal Market. Those are the Amish donuts.
Beeler's. Oh, dude, I'll tell you what. There's an Amish market by me. I freaking love it. But okay, so Beeler's So Beeler's does donuts, and you're saying Beeler's is better than Federal?
Yeah, they're the best in the city by far. Like it's not even up for debate.
Ooh, I like that. Damn, I'm gonna have to go down and get me. Is Beeler's the only place you can get it at Reading Terminal?
I believe it's the only place you can get it.
Man, oh well. Federal too, same thing. Where's Federal at?
No. Federal Donuts has a bunch of locations, and they're all their thing is they do fried chicken and donuts. They make both, and they make the donuts in the state. They do the chicken or whatever. They have. I think it's Michael. I think it's the guy that runs Zahav, the Israeli restaurant that's like supposed to be the best restaurant in the city. Okay,
but you're saying, but both of those are good. But you're saying 4th Street cookies are the gimmick.
Oh, that's all. I mean, I've always liked GoPuff, but once they started doing 4th Street cookies, I was like, well, this is a game changer now. Like,
how did you discover 4th Street cookies?
Because they're also on Reddit. So when I worked at Aramark's headquarters, where I was working, they were located right next to Reading Terminal Market. So that's where I would always go for lunch. And Reading Terminal Market just has like all the best food spots.
Yeah. So, man, I'm looking at 4th Street cookies right now. I'm not gonna lie, they look pretty damn good. Good.
They even sell. I think on GoPuff they sell them where like frozen packs. So it's like a little tub that has them, and you can just like heat them up and bake them yourself. But I just tend to eat them.
I like that. So, I know my mom was able to. So I know my mom was actually. She had a gift card to Illuminati's, which is a pizza place. You know, like those Chicago deep dish pizzas that they're famous for. So she got a gift certificate to Illuminati's in Chicago, and she was able to order frozen pizzas from them and heats up herself. And dude, she said she was down with it. You know, that to me seems like a pretty good idea. I would do that because, I mean, I've been to Chicago, but I don't feel like going there just to get some pizza. Yeah. I would pay, if I got a gift card, I would bring it to me. Yeah. So, all right, nice. So that's some sweet recommendation. You know what I was thinking when we were talking about the hiking and we talked about Devil's Pond, which is like rock jumping. I would love when my daughter's older to like find like an app or something like that has a map of like different places to go cliff jumping in our area, because I love that, dude. Remember what is the place
Black
that
Rock?
we would go? Black Rock. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Black Rock was the gimmick, man. They had the dam, they had the bridge, they had the other dam. Black Rock was the gimmick, babe. We were jumping in there. Oh, that was awesome. I love that place. That was so much fun to go to, right?
Yeah, back in high school, that was like, but yeah, exactly. Like, I remember, like, I wasn't the braver. Like, I would jump off. I would go up, I think it was like a 40 or 50-foot dam was the highest I would go. But there were some guys that would, like, do gainers off of it. And I know you went off the bridge, which I think was 100 feet, the bridge.
Yeah, bridge was pretty damn high, but it was awesome. I loved it.
And there was even, there was a little rapid section where you could jump in, the water would just take you down.
Yeah. That was like the corner of like, so there's like two dams. There was like a dam that was made of like, it was like surrounded by, it was like a pool dam where it stilled the water. And then there was like a dam that the river kind of like, it just like raised the river and went over. and you could jump off of both of them, and it was like, dude, it was awesome. I loved it, man.
Yeah, I remember it was past the high school, but I don't.
It's like in the college. It's like Collegeville. Area, I believe.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but Black Rock was pretty cool. But then the coolest place, and I'll do a road trip there in a heartbeat, and I actually have videos of it on my phone. So it's this place called Naog Park in Scranton, and it's this place called the Falls, right? So my old man's from Scranton, and he showed us, like when we went there when we were kids, he showed us the falls, and he's like, yeah, this is where we would come to go swimming and all that stuff. And it was kind of like people are there smoking dope and like whatever. It's kind of like trashy. Now they've made it like a park. And like it was like all like done up and like looks really nice, and like people still go there and jump in and go swimming, but they have like a bunch of different like places you can jump from. So it's like a horseshoe shape, right? And there's like the pool in the middle, and there's a waterfall coming in at like the top of the horseshoe, and then it's just surrounded by like these rock cliffs that go high, like it's like 25, 35, 45, and 75. And the 75 is called the Killer Kowalski.
Oh, shit.
Or I don't know. Actually, it's called. Maybe it's not Kowalski. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong name, but it's called the Killer. I forget what the last name is. He's maybe I'll find out. I'll ask my uncle or something. But all right. So, are you looking it up?
You know what? I'm actually looking up. I'm going to a bachelor party this weekend out in the middle of like nowhere, Pennsylvania. Yeah, so I'm looking at we're going to Paulpack, Pennsylvania. We got some Airbnb that's on 31 acres, and it looks like it's on a lake. So I don't know. When this was booked, I had no thought that we'd go and swim or anything. But with the 70-degree weather, we'll see what happens when the road sodas get flowing.
Nice, man. Nice. I love it, dude. Whose bachelor party is it?
It is my buddy Eric, roommate from Drexel.
Yeah, I know Eric and Chris, right?
Yep, yes, exactly.
Nice, man. Awesome.
So that whole group is,
Dude, that's
so
awesome.
Chris is in charge of throwing it. Yeah.
Oh, he's the best.
The wedding is in Mexico. Yeah, he's the best man. Yeah. And the wedding is in Mexico in a month. We're going to Cancun.
Hey, I'm a big fan of the destination weddings myself. But dude, Eric's a good dude. He's I'm happy to hear he's getting time to knot. It would be your second destination wedding had you gone to mine and didn't have your wedding the same weekend as my wedding. But that's just bad timing, my man. Oh, it's crazy.
I still remember I called you up like, hey, man, I just got engaged. Like, oh, I'm engaged too. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, my wedding's going to be like, my wedding is 2 days after in Mexico. And I'm like,
yeah. I was like, God damn it.
You know what? We had it planned to go too up until like the last month, and then we were just like, it's like the whole time, like, we can do it.
It's too much.
And then it's too much. Yeah.
It would have been too much. But
luckily, we got your bachelor party that was in the mountains, and that was one of the best bachelor parties I was ever at.
Oh, I can't believe you survived it. That's a story for another pop-in.
Yeah, another time, yeah.
But so we've had some good talking. So remember, listeners, we got the month of Alex still going. So part 2 of the Alex Lavelle experience will be this week on the podcast. Every Tuesday, except for we let it go a little early this week, and I swear that never happened to us before. And I know it happens to a lot of guys, but it's the first time it's ever happened to us. But either way, every Tuesday, new episodes of the Working Perspectives podcast. And then we got the
Working Perspectives. Like, what the hell happened on Monday? I'm like, is it Tuesday already? Like you confused the hell out of me, Matt, because you always do it like clockwork. I'm just like, what is?
It's better to drop it early than to not drop it at all. I found that out.
Oh, I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, so every Tuesday we'll have a new episode, and it'll be part 2 of the Alex Lavelle experience. And if you haven't listened to part 1, please do. Some people are saying it's our best work thus far. So check out part 1, and then if you want, you can find us on all podcast platforms at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can find us on Spotify at The Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can find us on YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. And if you want to join us on Twitter, hit us up and follow us at Working P Pod, and we're on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. And then if you would like to be a guest on the show and go through the approval process with the PAAA, then hit us up at workingperspectives@gmail.com. But other than that, Pete, you got anything to say to the people before we roll out of here?
I think I'm good, man. Just as always, party on, party people.
Party on, party people, and hear some noise. I like it. All right, awesome. So, yep. So this has been the Working Perspectives Podcast Weekend Poppin'. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by my guest host today, Party Boy Pete McCormick. And then, yep, so find us on all our socials and all that stuff. This is the end of the show. Stick around for the ad read. All right, thanks. Bye.